Hello! In this video, I'm going to share with you the best way to learn Unreal Engine this upcoming year. Learning Unreal Engine can feel very overwhelming at first as there are so many tools, systems and features. But don't worry, I've put together 5 simple clear steps that will help you learn Unreal Engine effectively. I'm an authorized Unreal Engine instructor and I've also released my own video game using Unreal Engine. With that being said, let's get into it. Step 1. Learn the fundamentals. You first need to learn the basics of Unreal Engine. Think of it like starting a brand new game and choosing to skip the tutorial. Sure, you can, but you're basically setting yourself up for failure. You need to understand the basics first, how the engine works and how the controls work, how to navigate, how to place objects, what blueprints are, etc. I actually made a completely ad-free Unreal Engine beginner course that covers all of the fundamentals. You can find a link to that somewhere in the description of the video. Of course, you don't need to take my course, but you just need to make sure you learn the fundamentals somewhere. Also, as of the latest version of Unreal Engine, version 5.7, the team has released a new Intro to Unreal Engine project, designed to teach beginners the basics. From what I've seen, it's a great addition, and definitely worth checking out if you're just getting started with Unreal Engine, as it'll take you through all of the essential things you need to know. You can get access to that by using Unreal Engine version 5.7, it has to be the latest version, and then just click Intro to Unreal, and this template will guide you through the most common settings of Unreal Engine. Once you understand the basics, you're ready for the next step. Step 2. Practice by recreating simple games. I recommend that you recreate 3 to 5 simple games, such as Flappy Bird, Space Invaders, or Pong. The point is, I want you to try and recreate a couple of simple games. You can do this by following tutorials or courses online. You may be tempted to jump straight into building your dream project, but let's go back to my video game analogy. The reason I'm having you build a couple of small video games is because now you know the basics. The next thing we need to do is level you up. Think of it like in a video game. After you beat the tutorial, you are not taken to the final boss instantly. Why? Because you'd be too weak and inexperienced to take down the final boss. You need to level up, get better gear, and become more equipped, and you do this by taking down a few weak enemies. Once you've taken down a few weak enemies, you can move on to a mini boss and become stronger. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're starting off by building a small handful of simple projects. I only recommend building between 3 to 5 simple game projects. And this will help you become more familiar with Unreal Engine. After all, practice makes perfect, and you should get a better hand of using the tools. Okay, so once you've created a couple of simple games, we are ready to move on to the next step. Step 3, define your goal. Now that you can build some simple things in Unreal Engine, you need to figure out what you're trying to accomplish with Unreal Engine. Were you learning it just for fun or as a hobby, or do you want to build a specific game that you can share with your friends and family and eventually sell? The point is, you need a clear direction of what you want to do next. Let's bring it back to my video game analogies. In most games, you have a main objective. For example, in Zelda, you're ultimately working towards defeating Ganon, the evil guy. Without a clear objective, you'll end up wandering in an endless void. We can fix this by giving you a concrete goal. For example, your goal could be, I'm going to make a short mascot horror game. That's the game you're going to be trying to create. Okay, and then very important, once you have your goal, you then need to break down the individual steps required in order to achieve it. So I have my goal. I want to make a short mascot horror game. Although with quests in video games and with anything in life, this is normally broken down into a list of shorter, definable steps that you can complete. Because just looking at the goal can be quite big and overwhelming, so it's important that you break it down. So, for my example, I've decided I'm going to be creating a short mascot horror game. Here's how I could break it down. 1, I need to choose the type of area that I want my mascot horror game to take place in. Do I want it to take place in an amusement park, a kids indoor play center? I need the plot of the game. Why is my character going to this place? What are they trying to achieve? I need the mascot. What type of mascot am I going to have? Is it going to be multiple mascots? Is it just going to be one? What mechanics am I trying to have in this game? Is it just going to be simple puzzles that the player solves, or is my player going to have a certain item? The point is, you need to make a list of all of the different features and things you want to have in your mascot horror game. Write everything down. You're essentially designing the blueprint of your project. Think of it like how in school, if say you had an exam, there's a syllabus of all of the different things you need to learn in order to revise for a subject's exam. That's essentially what we're doing with your goal. We're breaking down all of the individual small parts that you need in order to achieve the goal. Okay, once we've done that, we're ready to move on to step 4, chunking. Now, we did briefly cover this in the previous step, although I'm going to cover it in more detail here. So, I'm going to reveal how big tasks are achieved, and this pretty much applies for anything universally in life, not just learning Unreal Engine. And the answer is chunking. Chunking means breaking a large, overwhelming project into small, manageable pieces. There's a quote that I love. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. That's how people achieve big things in life, like climbing mountains and so on. Not by thinking about the entire mountain, just the next step. Take one step at a time. That's why in step 3, I said, define your goal and then break it down into a bunch of smaller pieces. If you find one of those pieces is too big, guess what? You can break it down into even smaller pieces. The point is, you want to break down tasks into such small pieces that it just feels like a step, an easy thing that you can do. And step by step, eventually you will accomplish your goal. So the idea is simple. If you're ever struggling with a task, break it down again. Break it down into small steps that they're almost impossible to fail. The harder the problem, the more you can break it down. Like the school syllabus thing that I mentioned. When you are studying for an exam, it's quite an overwhelming thing, but there's normally a syllabus which breaks down topics, and then under each topic there's specific things you need to learn, and so on. We want to do the same things with our goals. That way they can be more easy to achieve. I think there's this software called like Miro. You can like write down a list of every step, and then you can like break down tasks into even smaller tasks. For me, like each day I have like a physical to-do list, and that's the way I just do my tasks every day. So I just have a to-do list of the things I need to do, and then I just cross them off one by one. Okay, so we're now ready to move on to the final step. Step 5, build a routine. All of what I talked about only works if you put in the time, and this is where a lot of people fail. Think back to school or university. You had a timetable. You knew when lunch was, you knew when class started, what you were learning that day, and you knew when class ended. Imagine if your school was like, yeah, just show up whenever and do whatever you want, eat whenever you want, and just take the classes when you feel like it. It would be complete chaos. This is why you need to create a schedule for the things you want to learn in life. So here, we're trying to learn Unreal Engine. So here's an example of how your schedule may look. You may say, every other day at 3 p.m. I will work on Unreal Engine for 1 hour. Or maybe it's like every Saturday morning for 30 minutes I will build one feature for my Unreal Engine game. The point is, you want to make it a routine. Once it becomes a routine, your progress will become inevitable as long as you show up. Now, obviously, if you're doing this for a hobby and you don't want it to be like too intense, take breaks if you're ever feeling overwhelmed. I completely recommend that. But if you're trying to learn something, then it's good to have a dedicated time towards learning it, because sometimes you're not going to feel like working, sometimes you will feel like working, but if you just stick with it consistently, that's how you build the real skill. So I recommend doing the same with Unreal Engine. Have a routine of when you're going to learn it and work on it. Okay, so those are my main tips for learning Unreal Engine this upcoming year. I also have some extra bonus tips that will be helpful if you're on the Unreal Engine learning journey. I mentioned these tips last year, although I am going to repeat them in case you are watching this video for the first time or you just want a refresher. If you ever get stuck when you're watching a tutorial or following a video, you have a couple of options. Sometimes just try rewatching the video. It's possible that you may have missed a step. You can easily adjust the playback speed on videos you're watching to make them slower, to make things more clear. Also, if you're ever stuck, check the comments of that YouTube video. Sometimes if a person's stuck and they found a solution, they'll leave it in the comments of that video. So you can scroll down and you can check what the comments are saying. You could find a solution there. Now, this is something I've personally found helpful for just tutorials and just working in general. If you have 2 monitors, use them. I think it can be helpful to have one screen on a video and one screen on your project. Also, if you're just working on a project, it can be helpful to have 2 screens. You don't really need to flick between 2 tabs, and I think it can make you work a bit faster. Although, if you have one screen, that's fine. I use one screen for a while. And then, if you're building something complex, consider using an asset pack to save your time. So Unreal Engine has the Fab Store. There are a bunch of different assets there. The only caveat I will say is Make sure you have a good understanding of the asset and make sure that there is documentation of that asset, because sometimes assets can be a bit advanced to combine to your project, and it can also include a bunch of unnecessary things that you don't really want in your project, and you'll make sure that it has good documentation so you can easily merge it to your project. Although I will say it helps if you have used Unreal Engine for more time, because then you understand assets a bit more and it's a bit easier to combine into your project. Okay, that's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with what you're working on. This upcoming year, I plan to hopefully release a bunch of high quality tutorials. I'm also working on another Unreal Engine game, but I hope to release the game this upcoming year and share all of the lessons and things that I did to make this game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.